Welcome back, my internet friends. It's your friend Jerry Tolliver here, CEO of Fly Credit, where we help you have better credit, better opportunities, and a better lifestyle. So today I want to come back here with a credit tip for you. Now, specifically about mistakes to avoid, because here's the thing. We work with thousands of people. And one thing is for sure is that most people make the same exact mistakes. And so I think it's very important for us to talk about the things that you shouldn't do so that you can avoid them at all costs and you can focus on the things that actually work. The last thing that you want to do is waste time and money and energy and find yourself frustrated. You don't want to do that. I want you to find yourself in a place where you can focus on the things that actually matter. So let's talk about that. Number one. Now, the number one mistake that most people make when it comes to their credit is paying things late. Now, most people think that in order for you to build great credit, you have to pay everything on time. Just pay your bills on time. It's like the general idea that most people have about building good credit. But I'm sad to say that's not really true, because think about it, right? You pay a cell phone bill, you pay a water bill, cable bill, light bill. You pay these bills, but they don't all necessarily report on your credit. Right? So they don't help you build credit history. Now, the interesting thing is, if you stop paying on these accounts, if you stop paying the water bill, if you stop paying the cell phone bill, if you stop paying the cable bill, then they're going to send it to collections, and then that's going to report on your credit. But by then it's negative and you don't want it on your credit, right? So that's kind of a sham, but that's just the way that it is. So when people say just pay your bills on time, that's not really true. So I want you to get that one out of your head. Yes, you should pay everything on time regardless, but it's mostly very beneficial to you, especially if you pay the loans and credit cards that you have on time. That's really, really important. So like your student loans, car loans, mortgage loans, personal loans, your credit cards, the things that are already reporting on your credit, you definitely want to pay that on time. Otherwise, you're going to get a late payment, and that's going to ruin your credit. I remember one time when I paid late on my Express card, and I don't know how I did that. I was moving. I literally just bought my house, and I was moving, and I thought that I had the card on auto pay, but long story short, I didn't apparently, and I lost over 100 points in a matter of days just because I missed the payment. Now, I was able to turn that around because I'm the credit guru, but nevertheless, some people aren't able to do that. So if you're not able to turn around that late payment, then you're just going to get stuck with the effects of that late payment. And the worst thing that you could do is pay any of your credit cards or loans late. And if you do, I do have something I can give you that can help you with that. Now, the second thing that a lot of people do is they max out their credit card. This is another thing that banks do penalize you for. So whatever you do, if you have a credit card, be sure that you're only using it sparingly. So don't max out your credit card. If you have a $1,000 limit on your credit card, or maybe this is your first credit card and you've got a $500 limit, try your hardest not to max that bad boy out. And what I mean by that is charging it about 30% or more of the overall limit. So that same $500 limit, you don't want to charge over $150. And if you do charge over $150, just make sure that you pay it off as soon as you possibly can. That's the best thing that you can possibly do for your credit, is keeping your utilization low on your credit card. Y'all got that? Good. I love that. The next thing is you don't want to close any of your accounts. Now, I actually made this mistake once, closing out one of my oldest credit cards that I had. It was like 10 years old. It did have a couple late payments on it. And I guess I thought that if I closed it, that I was getting rid of debt, but I wasn't really getting rid of debt actually, because I didn't have a balance on the credit card. So I wasn't carrying any debt. I just had a really jacked up understanding about what credit was. And because I had dug myself in over $30,000 of credit card debt, I was like, I don't want to have nothing to do with this because apparently I didn't have the mindset or the habits or the understanding about how to use credit to begin with. So I got myself into a lot of credit card debt, y'all. I've been there. I've done that. It is no fun. But once you get out of it, it's like freedom, and you want to cut the cards up and just swear off credit. But you don't want to do that. You want to keep your cards open as long as you possibly can. You want to keep your accounts open as long as you possibly can, because this is going to help you build credit history over the long term. And long-term positive credit history is great for your credit. This is your way of building trust with the banks, because at the end of the day, building credit is about building a relationship with the banks. And I don't know how you treat the people in your life or how you treat your relationships or if you value them or not, but I can promise you that your relationship with the bank is probably one of the most important relationships that you're ever going to have as a consumer and as a business owner. So keep that in mind. And then the last mistake that I see a lot of people make is they just don't have a good mix of accounts. Having a good mix of different types of credit accounts is great. And it shows to lenders and banks that you know how to manage different types of money. So the only real kind of accounts that you ever really have are like charge accounts, revolving accounts, or installments. That's like the only kind of accounts that you really have. Like revolving accounts are your credit cards. Your credit card you can swipe and then pay off the balance over time, or your charge cards where you can swipe it, but you have to pay the entire amount in that same billing cycle. And then you also have your installment accounts, which are your loans, student loans, mortgage loans, auto loans. These are installments which come to an end at a point in time. So after 4 or 5 years, you're done paying on it, and then that's it, and it closes out. But with credit cards, it can stay open for as long as you possibly can. So it's really good for your credit. So those are the 4 mistakes that I want you guys to stay away from. Keep your accounts open as long as you can. Don't pay them late. Don't max out your credit cards, and just have a good mix of accounts in your credit, and you'll be more than able to get as many accounts as you want and start building strong credit history for the future. So that is my quick credit tip for you today. If you got some good information today, feel free to share this video with your friends and family members. Or if you got some questions and you need some answers, and feel free to schedule a free consultation with us over at flycredit.com/consultation. I'll be more than happy to help. It's what we do. So thank you guys for joining today, and I will see you next time.